Today's lesson is solving trigonometry equations. This is day 2. I'm just going to work out one more problem and then give you some more problems to practice. Okay, so the problem I'm going to work out is sine squared theta minus sine of theta equals cosine of theta. So I'm starting out by noticing that I'm looking for answers in radians, because it's asking me from 0 to 2 pi. All right, so I'm going to start out with, I'm going to substitute cosine squared with the Pythagorean identity 1 minus sine squared. So I have sine squared theta minus sine of theta equals 1 minus sine squared theta. Now I have everything in terms of one trig term. So I'm going to move the two terms on the right to the left side of the equation, so everything is on one side. So I'm going to add sine squared. So sine squared plus sine squared is 2 sine squared minus sine of theta, and I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So that's minus 1 equals 0. So now I'm going to factor. I'm kind of looking at this as 2x squared minus x minus 1. So I know I want the factors of 2. So we have 2 sine of theta and 1 sine of theta. I know that, and I'm looking at the factors of 1. The signs are different. So the higher one is -1. So when I multiply them together, so this is going to be the -1 over here. Here's the +1. I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. So 2 sine of theta plus 1 equals 0. And the sine of theta minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So I get 2 sine of theta equals -1. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I get the sine of theta equals -1/2. So I'm looking at the sine of theta is my y value. So I'm drawing a picture here. So my reference angle, so sine at -1/2, I know my reference angle is going to be pi over 6. So I'm looking at a negative y value. So I know those would be in quadrants 3 and 4. So this is going to be pi over 6 for my reference angles. So starting here and coming around, so this is pi, and since I'm talking about 6, I'm going to change this from 1 pi to 6 over 6. So 6 pi plus 1 pi is 7 pi over 6. And then this is 2 pi. So I'm going to subtract 1 pi. So that'll be 2 pi. So that'll be 6 times 2 is 12 minus 1. So this is 11 pi over 6. Okay, let's solve the other factor. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So this is sine of theta equals 1. So again, sine means the y coordinate. So I'm thinking about my unit circle here. So y, this is at 0, 1. So y is 1 here. So this is at pi over 2. So now I have my solutions, and I'm going to put them in least to greatest. So I have pi over 2, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. There we go.